Hello and welcome to another edition of Father and Son Time. Myself and Ben are back in the shed again. And today we're going to take on something that we haven't done before. We're going to attempt to make a fairy door. Now, I have pinned a lot of fairy doors that I've found in the past on Pinterest, and they all look amazing. Some people have made them and gone to the extent of growing moss on the outsides and having it just look so realistic. The thing is, I've never come across a how to actually make a fairy door.
Because there were always pictures.
Yeah, there were always pictures, weren't they?
Yes, but even though I never saw that, I remembered you
showing you some, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just going to wing it. I have an idea of what I would like to create, and
turn it out like.
Yeah, and I'm going to refer to Ben every time I have an idea, and Ben tells me his ideas as well. And hopefully we end up with something that's really, really cool. So stick with us and we'll get to it. So what we've thought of doing is finding a piece of wood that will actually, the shape of it will look like the arch, an arch or a wire, a frame of a door. And what we've found so far is this. Now, it's not exactly what I was thinking, but I think this is really, really cool because there's already a bend on it and it's straight. So
and I think we're going to cut this and put it like another piece of wood down here, like a frame.
Yeah, like a frame, so it'd be like a square frame. And then shape it so it looks quite natural. There is an option. We're going to hold on to that and keep on looking. We've also found this stump. And I can just see here, this here is like a perfect arch. If we cut away this, and we'll have to find a way, we'll just chop off the top here. But this section here could definitely work as the archway of the door, the fairy door. Now, lots and lots of twisty, turny, curvy wood here. So I reckon we can get in here and see what we can find. What you reckon, Ben?
Yeah.
I think we might have a winner. Let's see. Oh, it's stuck in there. Actually, it's already broken. Right, I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm just going to do my best to get this out of the whatever it's connected to. Okay, we got it out, and it turns out that this part is
a winner.
Well, it is a winner, isn't it? We could do a triangular fairy door, couldn't we?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right, so as we said, this one has an arch, but there'll be a lot of work cutting this away. This one has the straight section up and a straight section up, straight section across. We just have to make a section going down. This one is a triangle shaped piece of wood, thingy-majigger. And we came across this one just because it has a really nice, I'll try and get out of the shot, get my shadow out of the shot. This one has a really nice curve in it. So what I'm thinking is that like I could cut it there and cut it there. So the top half of the frame would be curved. And then just have straighter pieces connecting going down. So again, all good options for frames, but we're just gonna, as I said, I think we're gonna go with the triangle one because ends the boss. And hopefully it'll look really cool. Now, I'm after cutting the long part off there and just cutting it to here. But I'm seeing now that there's a crack right here. So hopefully we'll be able to make it stronger so that the crack doesn't actually crack it in half. Because I really think it would be a cool door frame, triangle door for the start. But yeah. We'll figure something out.
Would you like a biscuit?
Yeah. So the solution that we've come up with for the crack that's right in the center of it here is good old wood glue. So I've put wood glue in there as much as I can. I don't really have a good way of clamping it. So I'm just going to leave it upside down and sitting like that over here. And we're going to go with a different frame. So what are we going to go with?
This one.
This one. Right, so we're going to go with this. And I think facing it, oops, mind the ceiling, facing out this way. So we're going to cut, I'd say about here, and use a part of this straight piece, which is pretty cool as well. Attach it, round it, should look good. And here you have the piece of wood that I just cut, which is, say, what, it's 2/3 of the frame. Really, really cool. I love how this has just naturally twisted into this shape. So the other side I've chosen to be this bit. Why? Because it's all really just pretty cool curves on it as well. And the best way I can come up with to actually attach this is I'm going to cut from here to here and then up. So I'm going to take that little section out so this section can sit in here, and then we're going to get the sander and just round this off to mimic this side. Hopefully it look good, and yeah, hopefully I'll then figure out how to, I might actually have to glue this as well, because the least amount of nails the better, I think. Nice. Oh, I'm well happy with that. Sitting here, get that into focus, and there you go. It's nicely sitting. Now I did, at the end, drill through here. I did a pilot hole and you can hardly see it. But there is a nail. Very happy. Nicely camouflaged. So what I'm going to do is, as I said before, I'm going to round this side here and on the far side to try and like just mimic, just keep the curves. But I'm really happy with how that turned out, and the fact that it's actually standing on its own is also very cool. So Ben, do you want to tell everybody about our idea with the flower pot?
Yes. So this flower pot here, we were going to use this one. Yeah. But we decided this one.
So it's a broken flower pot, is it?
Yes, basically. And it's turned upside down. As you can see, I don't know actually if you can see. I'll just take this around. See, it's flat, so this is the bottom of it. That's the base. So anyways, it's broken, so it looks like a house. So this fairy door is actually going into something. Yeah, and we're going to cover this. We'll see if we can cover it with soil and then put grass seed on it, or we'll see if we can actually get some grass sods to lay over it, and yeah, just kind of create the look as if it's the door that's opening. We could probably, yeah, cover up the sides, but I think it's a pretty cool idea, Ben. Yeah, me too. So now I'm after getting 2 pieces of pallet wood, and I've used a little bit of wood glue, as you can see, and I am now clamping them together. I just have them sitting up on top of this block of wood so that I can get the clamp in, and I've made sure that the 2 pieces of pallet wood that I'm gluing together will end up being a lot wider than I want them to be, so I can then get this frame here and sit the frame on top of the much wider wood. Then I'll be able to draw around the shape of the inner shape of the frame and cut the pallet wood to shape so that hopefully the door will be a snug fit to the shape of the actual frame. Hey everybody, just saying that we are back in the shed, new day, and we're on this fairy door thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and put this door together with the frame to match it with the frame, and it's difficult because it's an organic shape. So what I'm doing is I'm after getting the 2 pieces of pallet wood that are stuck together, and I've placed the frame on top, and I've drawn the shape of the frame using a pen.
so I don't know how accurate it is. So we're going to cut this out, and hopefully the shape of the door will fit the frame perfectly. That's the theory anyway.
Here on.
Yeah?
You know the way that it has a few bends in it?
Yeah.
You know that saw that cuts bends very easily?
The jigsaw?
Yes.
Will we use that?
I think so, because the bends would be hard to do with that saw.
Yeah, it would.
The
Good idea.
yellow saw, I don't know what that's called.
I think that's what we'll do. That's a chop saw you're thinking of.
Okay.
Safety goggles!
Okay, Lulu.
Here you go. You want to take your earmuffs off first?
Yeah, you always do that.
I know, because it's more comfortable.
Yeah, you always put on my thing.
Your safety goggles first. Oh, then I put your earmuffs on, and then...
You always put those on, and then you remember these, and then you always do them.
I know.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, safety first.
Yeah!
I don't know why I say that.
Because it's true. It's very important.
Okay.
We can replace the tools. You can't replace your eyes or your hearing or your fingers. So we're just gonna go with this. Super. Always make sure that stops before you put it down.
Why?
Well, you just don't want to put down a moving tool. Again, it's just about safety.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. How come?
Because I don't get why you need to do that.
Well, actually, it's more important when you're using the likes of say an angle grinder or something like that, because the blade is turning, and if you put it down before it's finished, it can fly off towards you. Or the same with a belt sander. If the belt sander is still moving before you put it down, the belt sander can shoot off or shoot towards you.
That would be weird.
I know, it's crazy.
And very dangerous.
And very dangerous.
Hope that fits.
So do I. Right, so it does pretty much fit, but I can see that I want that to actually sit in the middle, and it won't go through. That's blocking. So I'm just going to sand a few pieces that I can see are obviously not fitting, and just spend a bit of time sanding this and getting it to fit properly. But I think it's looking fairly cool so far. What do you reckon, Ben?
Me too.
Cool?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I've had an idea to make a door handle, and this is it. So, I don't know whether I can get that into focus. Focus! There, it's not too bad. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, which is like a felt nail for doing felt roofs. There's a big wide head on it, as you can see there. And I've put it into the vice grips here, and I'm going to try and bend it over to create the shape of a door handle. And there you have it. I've just bent it. I cannot get this into focus when I go further to the camera, but I'm really happy with that. As you can see, look.
We've bended it.
There's the flat pass. I'm going to stick that to the door.
And
so when you're looking at it from the door, it'll look like that. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm going to use your head as a background pen.
Okay, that looks weird.
It does look weird, but I think you get the idea. So I've got that.
And we
there's
the
a little handle.
pointy part, the nails.
Yeah.
We have flattened that out.
Yeah, we flattened out the.
Just push that on my finger. No blood.
Yeah, that's a good point. Point. Hinges for a door this size, they're going to be super small. I just so happen to have a length of what I think is called a piano hinge. It's about 1 meter long, but I've just got the snips and I've just snipped it to this length. Now this was like 1 meter long, it's just a piece off it, and it's just a small hinge.
Yeah, but very long, because these dots where the screws are going in are very thin.
Yeah.
Wide apart.
There's the frame. There's the size of the hinge. So The door's gonna open inwards. Look, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. That's all we can do, isn't it, Ben?
Yes, basically.
Just wanted to show you this, how that actually fits in there.
It fits perfectly.
Doesn't it? Like, there are the gaps, but I need gaps so that the door can open inwards. So, but it's a really
nice fit.
Nice snug fit. Very happy. I'm going to try to put on the hinge now, and yeah, I think it's really turning out well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice one.
And I'm happy we even found this piece of wood. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I really like this big chunky bit here.
Yeah, that bit there is cool. So yeah, this is turning out to be a fun project, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to hold the wood for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll hold that there.
Okay.
Lovely. Just take it slow. That's it. Perfect. Whoa. Oh, that's it. That's it. Okay, and do the same with that one. That's a perfect speed because these are tiny screws.
So if I went too fast, what would happen?
It would just probably round, and you just want it to bite a tiny bit. Well, that's enough. Perfect.
Perfecto.
A nice
hinge.
Excellent. All we have to do now is attach it to the frame. I'm after forgetting which side. There, that's it. So we're going to put this.
Oh my god, this feels so good.
I know. It looks cool though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks so cool. Why does it look so cool?
If I get, we might need a slightly longer screw for this because it's at an angle. But we're not going to pre-drill this one. I'm just going to put that on the end for you.
Okay.
All right. So can you get that in there into that hole first?
I will try my best.
And again, go slow.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Whoa. Perfecto. Okay. Let's try that again, and we put it. See, this is cool because I can hold this in place while
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I went like the weeniest bit faster because we're actually drilling in with our free drill.
That's good. Well, it obviously worked.
Yeah, I was just.
I'll hold that. Perfecto. Whoa, that's it.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna get
what you reckon,
the conditioner that
now I just might have to take it off and just sand a little bit more off that there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super. Okay, we are sanded. I just took a little bit from here and here out, and as you can see, the door just perfect. There's the hinge on the back. I don't mind that because you're not going to see it. You don't see it. Very, very happy. I'm going to stick on the handle now, and we'll try and go through the just in case box when Ben comes back, and we'll figure out if we can put maybe a little knocker in the center, like something that looks like a brass door knocker. Now I'm after getting a piece of a coat hanger, and I've bent it into this shape because I just think it's quite fairy like. I'm going to see if I can get a U-shaped thing. I'm looking at this here, and I'm going to cut this just there, so I'm only left with that U shape, and that U shape is going to go over that. It's going to be hammered in to the door, and it will hold this in place. So to the front of the door you'll see this, to the side of the door you'll see that, but it's like a little knocker. It'll be like. Now Ben has entrusted me to put this little door knocker on because he's gone inside now to get ready for his cousin's second birthday. So I'm going to do my best here. I'm just I've just cut this piece, this little U piece. I don't know whether you can see that properly. And I'm just going to pre-drill. Obviously, like I need to hammer it in, so I'm just going to cut some pre-drill holes exactly where it needs to be. Right here. And that. Those two line up. Nice. And now I just need to kind of hammer this in, but I'm going to have to make sure I don't hammer it in before this guy sits into it here as well. But I'll just start hammering it first. Now I'm actually going to use this little hammer that Ben was given as a birthday present in a set, and it has come in handy a few times. Hey Ben!
Hey!
Oh, you got your hair washed, good man. I'm just putting this in. Look, I'll show you. Where's this piece going? There. Does that look fairy-like?
Yes.
This is like a door handle. See, it's going to hold like that. It's be like a knocker. Look.
No, it looks very fairy-like.
Cool.
How did you make it, by the way?
I held it in the vice grips, and then I bent it with the pliers. Yeah, so I just pre-drilled these holes and just trying to get a start on this. See how it's going in at an angle?
How is it going in at an angle?
I'm not sure, but we don't really want it to go in at an angle, so I'm going to lift it out, try and get this going into there first.
This is very fairy-like for me.
Isn't it cool?
Yes, very. The people on the camera didn't even see me until now, like, because I just put my hand in by accident.
Okay, that's gone in enough now that I want to put a piece of wood behind this.
Why?
So the door stays closed. See, when it wasn't, it was leaning down a bit. Then a piece of wood under
Oh,
here.
I forgot we put the hinge on it.
Yeah!
No, I don't even remember.
Now, do you have the handle or the knocker, the door knocker? See, I want to get that underneath it.
Yeah.
And
how are we going to get it to stay there?
I don't know. This is all like a little experiment. But I'm just going to hold it here because I need to be able to hammer past the turn in this.
And can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
We can't hammer it down too much, because if we hammer it down too much,
yeah,
it wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah. So I'm just going to use this. It's a little punch. Okay. Just to kind of, I'm actually going to put the flat of it.
I'll hold that.
Can you hold that up like that?
That's what I was just about to tell you.
Excellent. This is cool because I thought you were getting ready for your cousin's party. Oop.
Why did you say my cousins?
Well, for Tom's party.
Why did you say cousins?
Oh, I was telling everybody here in YouTube world that you were going in getting ready for your cousin's birthday party. If I had said Tom's birthday party, they'd be going, who's Tom? What's that like?
Good, but I think no more because it's kind of hard to lift up.
Okay, show me. Because it's only decorative, really. See? Oh, see, I don't want it to sit to the side like that, though. So I'll tell you what. I think we'll hammer it in until it's tight. What you reckon?
Yeah, but then we won't be able to knock it.
No, but at least it'll look like the way it's supposed to look. I think if we hammer this in, actually, it'll sit into the wood. See the way it sits in the wood, and then we can work it into the wood. That's brilliant. See, it's sitting into the wood, and it's actually acting. Can you see that? I hammered this and that into the wood, so it has made an indentation in the wood, so it actually holds it straight in that position. Yeah, I like it.
I really like that the door can open like.
Yeah, because look, if you put it here, wait a minute. We'll adjust the camera.
As you can see, my hand is holding it up.
Yeah. Now, do you want to, I'll hold it. Do you want to open the door?
Yeah.
You have to knock.
Okay.
Knock.
Yes, you. I'm here for your party.
Brilliant.
This is a very cool party.
Okay. So what we're going to have to do is...
Yeah. I'm on the dance floor.
Dancing party.
Yes. Well, all parties basically have dance floors.
That's true.
Okay, anyways, that was funny, but anyways, that was just for the video to make a bit of humor.
A bit of humor. I like your style. So we're going to just put on the door handle. We're going to have to stick that on.
Yep.
So we'll just stick that on, and then we'll just basically wait for that to dry.
I am actually very liking this door.
It's cool. So here's the handle that we made out of the nail, and it's going to sit, I'd say, about there. But because when I let go it falls over, we need to glue the flat part of that onto here. So can you put that piece in, Ben?
Yep.
We found this piece of plastic that is just the right height, so that when we
glue it,
it'll just sit.
It doesn't do this.
Exactly. And there you have it.
Finished reveal.
The finished reveal. Very good. So now, as it stands, I don't have a glue gun. I would love to have a glue gun. It's on my list of things to buy. But there are points here where this broken terracotta pot is sitting on the wood. There and there and there. And then obviously the base of the frame needs to be stuck down. So what I'm going to do is, here I've mixed up an epoxy resin to stick all of these things in place. And then obviously I'm just going to try and stick it to the back where the wood meets the terracotta as well. So about 2 days have passed, and I've just come out to check to see that everything has dried and it's hard and it's nice and solid, and thankfully it is. I had then just tried to put some grass sods that were dug from our neighbour's back garden, and placed them over the terracotta pot to try and create the grass effect. And to be honest with you, it was an absolute nightmare. It was just messy, and the sods just, like, there was no way to actually knit them together. So I have decided to go with this. Yep, that's it. It is AstroTurf. There was a little bit left over, and obviously it doesn't look as good as real grass, but I'm just going to tack it around, cut it to shape, and just try and get it to fit as tight as I can.
Okay, hey everybody, turns out that I like it, but Kieran doesn't really, but he's just sewing this here. And
I'm sewing it so that I can pull all these parts tight together.
Yes.
But it's really hard, and I only have like a standard needle.
Yeah.
So I have to actually push the needle in with pliers and pull it out with the pliers, because see, what did I do?
You stabbed your thumb with the side that isn't even sharp.
Because it was so difficult to push through.